going to shock the world here.
I'm calling for an open tryout. If anyone is watching this, I'm calling for an open tryout. I got a year of eligibility left.
Might have some. Anthony, where is home for you?
Home is Medway.
That's wrong.
All right, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just have to disagree.
While we were in class this morning, I was watching his mixtape, and this guy catches and shoots from anywhere.
Are you ready for some debate? Because Bobcat Breakdown starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Bobcat Breakdown. My name is Patrick Walsh, and alongside me are men's soccer beat reporters Seb Lopes and Q30 Vice President Andrew Reynolds. Boys, how are we feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great, Seb. You know, just outside the piazza, a lot of people watching the presidential debate, but really, they're missing out on the biggest debate right now on television, which is this debate we're having on Bobcat Breakdown.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ready to go at you. I mean, you're a big news guy, so I'm surprised that you accepted the position to go on air for Bobcat Breakdown during this. But
Seb, I am a pretty big sports guy. You'll be pleasantly surprised.
Let's go to battle.
All right. Our first question is from the soccer pitch. After Alex Miller set up a corner kick that led to a Bobcat goal on Saturday and has had back-to-back games with assists, do you guys think he would become a staple piece for men's soccer? Seb, what do you have?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Alex Miller we're about 5 games into the soccer season, and he's already stapled himself as probably top 3 of the most important players on this team. The offensive struggles that this team came into the season with was the biggest question mark that they had, and Alex Miller is kind of answering those questions. My biggest thing is that he isn't even a forward. He's a midfielder, and he's creating as much offensive production and offensive threat as he is. His vision is unlike any other. In soccer, you have very split time to make a decision. You have split seconds and just so much minimal time that when you watched his assist against St. Bonaventure for Drew Seguro, you saw how quickly he managed to see Drew Seguro running around his line and just how he was able to perfectly pinpoint right in where his line, right at the right time, where that ball needs to be placed for the success of the offense. What do you have, Reynolds?
To be honest with you, I mean, I think the question is, will he? Potentially, but not this year. Right now, he is not in that position. I think I can see that maybe he's a top 3, but right now, Drew Seguro is the better midfielder at this point. When you look at, he is a senior, he's a veteran on this team, played a hard role last year as well. He has a goal this year. He has 2 assists. He has both of those assists came today against Central Connecticut State University. And he's also tied for second on the team in points with 4. When you look at Alex Miller, on the other hand, yes, I'm not discrediting that he's a great player, but the question is he a staple for the men's soccer team as of right now? He is not there yet in comparison to Drew Seguro. Miller right now, he has just 3 assists. He got one of those today, tied for 4th on the points with team, tied for 4th on the team with points, with 3 points, and he's a junior. I think next year, I'm a little biased. I mean, he's from Leominster, Massachusetts. I'm a Mass guy, so I think next year, he's going to be a major part of this team. So when he's a senior next year, I think that he will probably, be one of those leaders on the team if he's not already.
I think that's just crazy to say, considering that the likes of the forward group of Joey Saputo Jr., William Holm, Benjamin Tella, they just haven't really kicked on yet. I mean, literally today, William Holm was able to score his first goal of the season for the men's team. But something had to provide a spark for that, and that was Alex Miller in the midfield, creating distribution for his teammates and all of that kind of stuff. Even in his post-game conferences, he has talked so much about how the help of knowing that he has so many people behind him to help him out lets him roam free and just be so successful.
All right, Seb, what about these offensive stats? Like, what about shooting the ball on the net? What does Alex Miller rank? Where do you think?
He probably ranks up there.
He does not.
He doesn't rank up there.
He's 1 for 6 on shots on goal. He's only hit the net once on shots on goal this year.
He doesn't rank up there because he's doing the other stuff behind the ball. He's kind of like in hockey, as a Devils fan, he's kind of like a Nico Hischier who creates all of the work that doesn't go noticed on the score sheet, because that's so important for your team to have offensive success, and goals are what win you games.
I get it, but when you look at points, Seb, right, who's contributing? As of right now, they both have been part of 2 goals. 3 goals combined, right? You look at Drew Seguro has a goal, and then 2 assists for Seguro. I get that Alex Miller, he has 3 assists. He's on, but I think that right now, Drew Seguro is in a better position to be a staple on the team right now than Alex Miller, because next year, Alex Miller will definitely be a staple on that team.
All right. We now have to go to the women's soccer team. Scoring in her past 2 games alongside 11 shots, Morgan Kupo has become a steady offensive weapon for the Bobcats. Last season, Courtney Chokel was the team's leading scorer and helped lead them to multiple MAC titles. Do either of you think that Kupo has surpassed Courtney Chokel as the top option on offense for the team, even though the season just started? Andrew, let's start with you.
No, not at all. Chokel is still the number one. Started all 5 games, 116 minutes played, 2 goals, 1 assist, 5 points, 18 shots on goal. Morgan Kupo has the potential of being the number 1 next year. She started for all 5 games. She has decent stats, 2 goals this year, just 11 shots on goal. Cooper already has more minutes than she did last year, which is great. But again, she's just not on that level of Chokel. Chokel last year, a major part of that team, and the reason why they were able to, get to the NCAA tournament, able to get past Fairfield in that MAC championship game.
Believe it or not, I'm in full agreement with you, Reynolds, right here. In terms of who's more important, I think Courtney Chokel isn't someone that you can look past yet because she's in her graduate year right now. Again, Morgan Kupo, she's in her junior year. She has 1 more year, so this is a brilliant problem for the women's soccer squad to have, where you have too much offensive threat. Going to the stats, Courtney Chokel has 18 shots on the season. Kupo only has 11. And are you ready for this bombshell? Of Kupo's 11 chances, 2 have been on target, while Courtney Chokel, for 18 shots, 10 have been on target. That's 10 goals versus 2 goals. Which one wins you more games? The 10 goals. So that's just why you see that Courtney Chokel is way more important currently in this moment than Morgan Kupo. Well, yes, Morgan Kupo is showing potential, so she will get there one day.
Yeah, I'm glad we can agree on that, Seb, because I think that's a freebie right there.
Absolutely.
That was a layup. That was a layup.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And like I was mentioning, you as the head coach of a team, you want that kind of issue where you have to go and find, how am I going to manage my squad having 2 brilliant strikers and 2 brilliant offensive options that are just going to produce me goals? Do I go with a formation of a 4-4-2, or do I have to put a lone striker out there? So that's a big problem to have. Not a big problem. It's a big problem to have, but it's a really good problem to have. And I think the women's soccer squad is happy about that.
All right. That's all we have for right now, but when we come back, we will discuss the field hockey team's 30th anniversary with a game of trivia and more. Bobcat Breakdown will be back in 90 seconds.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Of course.
Yes. Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right?
I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own.
And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. If you're just joining us, I'm Patrick Wallace, joined alongside Seb Lopes and Andrew Reynolds. The Quinnipiac field hockey team celebrated their 30th anniversary over the weekend at their game against Stonehill. Here's a recap from our partners at QBSN.
Welcome into Hamden, Connecticut for some field hockey action. The Stonehill Skyhawks taking on the Quinnipiac Bobcats here in the 4th game for Quinnipiac this season. They're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Quinnipiac field hockey today. Alumni getting pictures with the current players and families down on the field now before the game. Stonehill and Quinnipiac scoreless in regulation. as we head to a 10-minute period of 7-on-7 field hockey. To Pompeo. Pompeo gets around her defender. Pompeo with a shooting circle, shoots, and she scores! Pompeo with the game winner. Bobcats win 1-0 against the Stonehill Skyhawks in second overtime.
After the weekend of celebrating the 30-year mark of Quinnipiac field hockey, we thought it was only appropriate to do our own field hockey history trivia. How confident are you guys feeling?
Can't believe it, this bombshell here, Pat. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I think I got it in the bag, Seb. I mean, I've been here for 3 years. I've been here for the Becca Main era, now the Nina Klein era. I think I got this in the bag.
You absolutely have been here for one more year of field hockey, so maybe you do have it, but I have been here for...
You're already conceding. I'm already winning this. I already know.
All right. For the first question we have, what year was the Quinnipiac Field Hockey Stadium built? Was it A, 1985, B, 2000, C, 2014, or D, 2017?
Seb, what do you think? I know the answer.
I'm going to go for 1985.
1985? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that is incorrect. It is D, 2017. That was also when the Quinnipiac Soccer Stadium was built. Same time.
All right. And the correct answer is D, 2017. Andrew, you got it right. All right, let's move on to the second question. How many conferences has Quinnipiac played in? Is it A, 1, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5? And as a bonus point, if you guys can name the conferences.
All right. So I know it's definitely, I think it's 3. I know Quinnipiac played in the MAC. I know they played in the Big East. I don't know what the third one is, but I know they played in the MAC Field Hockey Conference, and they're currently in the Big East right now.
I'm going to go with 3 conferences. I just don't know which ones they are other than the MAC.
I hate to inform you, you guys are both wrong. It's 4, and they played in the MAC, the Big East, the NEC, and the NE10 old-time conference.
I should have had the NEC. I mean, that was kind of I'll take that.
All right. And for the last question, who are the only 2 head coaches in team history?
Well,
is it A, Becca Main and Nina Klein, B, Tricia Fabry and Nina Klein, C, John Delaney and Nina Klein, or D, Jess Rusin and Nina Klein?
Well, it is Nina Klein and Becca Main.
Yeah, it's obviously A. I mean, Nina Klein and Becca Main have to be the answer.
But, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Seb, I said it first before we even started the trivia. Right. I said I was here for both eras. Well, so, I mean, it's a shame because I think you thought in your mind, you're like, oh, that was a gimme. You just said that like before the trivia.
Hey.
I think you took my answer. I'll take the point on that.
It was a gimme from the start of the question.
Patty.
So
I appreciate it.
Yeah. How many? The answer is A, Becca Main and Nina Klein. You guys both got it right. Do either of you know how long either of them has been in the program?
Do you know, Seb?
I do not know.
All right, well, so the entirety of Quinnipiac Field Hockey has been around for 30 years. Nina Klein's been there for 2 years. 30 minus 2 is 28. Becca Main was there for 28 years. Yeah.
Okay, 3 minus 2?
30. Oh, man.
Come on,
30,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Is that how they teach math?
3 minus 2 is 1. I'll say that, but it's 30 minus 2.
What are we doing messing up the math here?
Man.
Come on, Andrew.
Somebody's going to clip this and put it on Twitter or something like that.
All right. Well, guys, I think you guys are masters of field hockey now. It is now time for our second commercial break of the night. But when we come back, we'll be discussing who left the greatest legacy for the field hockey program and how Rugby's start to the season has gone. Don't go anywhere.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save
you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. If you're just joining us, I'm Patrick Walsh, joined alongside Seb Lopes and Andrew Reynolds. Now that you guys have refreshed your field hockey knowledge with a game of trivia, I have to ask you, who do you think has left the biggest impact on the program in the last 30 years? Seb, take it away.
All right, so I went through the history books and the record books of this field hockey team during
Where
my
are you
research.
going with this, Seb? I'm really nervous.
Oh, we're going deep, all right? Jess Rusin is, in my opinion,
God, there's no
the
way.
player who...
It's
Come
like
on.
the worst answer
Come on.
in the world. There's
Go
no way.
through the record books.
Dude.
Go through all the books of the history of field hockey here at Quinnipiac, and the Jersey native has etched her name in so many of them. All right, she set a program record for goals scored in a career with 40. Rusin went into her final year 8 goals shy of the record set by Heather Cady at 31 goals, knowing her objective of breaking the record was reachable, as she had completed a 10-goal season previously. Rusin would then go on to not just break the record, but put an exclamation mark on it by setting a career record of 11 goals in a season and etching herself in history as the all-time goal scorer for Quinnipiac with 34 of them. But that wasn't the end of that season, as she would then go on and make it even higher for her career high with 17 goals in a season to reach that 40-goal mark in her career. Where do you have to go with this? Let's hear it.
Seb, there's no way you just said there was a player that was bigger impact on the program than Becca Main. Oh my, dude.
All right.
Like
so
I almost
went,
I lost brain cells. I almost got out of my chair, Seb, because that was such a bad take. Becca Main is the founder of this program. She was here since the beginning. Retired after 2022. Of 28 years. She saw it through its highs and lows. She was there for the new field hockey stadium. Literally, I literally have in my notes. Literally, what else is there to add? Because she is the godfather of this program. I mean, you know what? I'll add another name. I'm going to add Jack McDonald, the former athletic director for Quinnipiac Athletics. He was there from 1995 into 2015. Obviously, there's no graphic up there because I'm just throwing this out there now because he was. I got 2 people here, Seb.
Yeah, you got 2 people, but the first one of them was so basic. I mean,
Yeah.
when you go
You're right. So basic was yours. The first one that was said was basic because you looked through the history books and you said, oh man, this person's going to be really good because they were the highest performing player in history.
Absolutely not.
But why would they be good?
I
Why
could
were
have
they
gone
good?
with a
Becca
goalie.
Main.
I could have gone with a goalie, did I? No, but let's go back to the stats.
What kind of
Rusin
goaltending
had
are you
a
going to find in the
39
history books? There's no
Rusin had a
goaltending from this team.
39-point season in 2013, which is a Quinnipiac single-season record. She had a 94-point career, which sits atop the Quinnipiac record books by 14.
Okay.
Heather Cady is second with 80. And ready for this? The next most recently active player was Savannah Riley with a 71-point career ending in 2017. I know you're not that great at math because we just saw it, but that's 23 points behind Rusin. All right? What do you have to say to that?
I honestly didn't listen to any of it because I'm just so angry that you even had that as your answer, Seb. When you look at Becca Main, again, the godfather of this team, and then I'm going to throw Jack McDonald in the mix because I have to. Literally invested in the team, new facilities. He put them in the conference, the Big East, and guess what Quinnipiac's best conference is right now in their athletics? It's the Big East. I mean, if you want to throw the ECAC hockey in there, yeah, 100%, because they're an elite hockey conference. But when you look at like the general big conferences in the country for the NCAA, the Big East is the biggest name in that list. And he also helped, like the new facilities and that stuff in the elite conference, that helps with recruiting. Jack McDonald helped that out. And if you even want to throw it in there, I know everyone at home knows what I'm going to say. John Leahy, he made it happen as well. I think all 3 of them are the godfathers of this program.
I mean, I'm baffled. I don't know how you could just think that my answer is so wrong. Let's keep going because I have so many notes on Rusin. All right, she was always getting the praise from her coaches because they would say how she just stays behind.
Who was the coach?
All right,
Becca Main. There we go.
Guys,
All
if
right.
I just have to say, I have to go with Becca Main as well. You know, head coach for
What about
30
Jack
years.
McDonald
She's
and
like a
John
Coach
Leahy?
K.
What about
There's
those?
no
Like
way
Coach
you're
K
going.
or a Nick
There's
Saban
no way
character.
you're going with Reynolds on
It's
this
like-
one after you
Can
see
we-
all
can
the
we even-
stats and
Mike
all the notes I
Krzyzewski,
have
Nick
on
Saban, Becca Main.
Can we even throw Jack McDonald and John Leahy in the mix? Is that good? Is that going to happen or no?
What,
John Leahy and my goats, my two goats.
John Leahy never stepped on the field
That's
hockey
true.
pitch
That's true. That's
once.
true.
So I mean,
I will leave this debate knowing that Jess Rusin
All right.
was the most influential person from field hockey.
Switching
for
from the
Quinnipiac.
turf to the grass, the women's rugby team has played the Brown Bears and the reigning national champion Harvard Crimson and tied them both. Do you guys think tying Harvard, a perennial contender, is important moving into the rest of the season? Andrew, you start us off.
Yeah, in my notes I have yes with like 5 exclamation marks because it is such a big win for Quinnipiac. When you look at Harvard and their top 6 scorers returning, if their top 6 scorers returning this year, and 9 out of their 10 top scorers from last year are back on this team. And their top scorer now is a junior, sophomore last year. And last year, she had Lennox London, 16 tries, 80 points. That right there, when Quinnipiac ties a team that has 6 of their top scorers, their top 6 scorers returning, that is incredible. And they're able to tie them too. So, and Harvard is the reigning national champions. When you look at Quinnipiac, they lost a lot of their veterans from when they won the national championship 2022, and hence why Quinnipiac kind of fell off the map. With Zach Metza leaving, and Jaden Lee was there last year, but some of the other big names that left. Quinnipiac, they kind of went back down in the polls towards the end of the year, and they were not able to repeat as national champions. But I think that Quinnipiac's rugby team able to kind of get on top of that Harvard team and be able to tie them, I think that's huge for that program, especially since they won 3 straight national championships just under 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, after just going down my throat about field hockey, I'm going to agree with you on this one that tying a national champion, it does actually carry weight. And I'm going to take it more on a psychological side that the momentum that you gain from tying a national champion is ridiculous. And in sports, momentum is everything. If you have the momentum and the belief of yourself going into games, you know that you're going to do well. Going stats-wise, this is the first time in 11 years that they haven't lost a game against Harvard. And when we look ahead at their schedule, Dartmouth are going to be their next hardest opponent. And it's kind of clear by a little landslide. But they have 5 games to continue to grow more and more belief in themselves that they really have some potential. And that's going to be huge when they go into that penultimate matchup against Dartmouth. I also feel that how they tied against Harvard is huge because of how it sets a benchmark for this team. Yeah. Whenever they go into battle against someone, they're going to have to realize that a tie or a loss isn't, or a loss, sorry, not a tie, but a loss isn't going to be good enough considering that they were able to tie a national champion.
Yeah, I do want to add though, so Harvard and Brown are going to play each other later this year, and I think that we're really going to understand the importance of that tie for Quinnipiac when they play each other. If Brown is able to keep it close against Harvard, that shows you that Quinnipiac is one of the better teams in the conference as well. And what do you think those away games are important for Quinnipiac? They have so many in a row.
I mean, I think away games are going to be huge because if you can go out on the road and win games away from your own home turf, it's going to be huge knowing that I don't need to be at my home field. I don't need to have that home support backing me. I can do this on my own. I can do this with just my teammates and just myself believing in myself. So that's going to be huge for them if they can go and string together some really good results on the road with these next.
Yeah, if you can go to another school and you can beat their team on their own field, that's going to help you in the poll rankings and their tiers as you go up. As of right now, Quinnipiac, again, one of the top teams in the country, but they're trying to get back to where they were just under 10 years ago. And I think that this tie against Harvard was really huge to doing that.
Unfortunately, it's time for our last commercial break of the night. But stay tuned because our final roars are coming right up.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. It's now time for our final roars. I'll kick us off. The Quinnipiac field hockey team had high expectations coming into the season. Our goal is to make history, head coach Nina Klein said in a preseason Zoom meeting. We knocked on the door last year and are using last year as fuel. The season did not start the way they wanted, with back-to-back close losses at home against LIU on the road and on the road against Northeastern. Things seem to be getting worse, with a 4-0 loss against New Hampshire. On Sunday, they celebrated their 30th anniversary as a program and were joined on the field by alumni and former head coach Becca Main. The game was filled with back-and-forth midfield play and stellar play from both goalies. The game eventually went to double overtime. Both teams went up and down the field until Lucia Pompeo called game, getting it past the defender and the goalie for the game-winning goal. After the game, Klein said, "Resilience is a big word for us, and even when it gets frustrating, I want to make sure we don't turn on each other." They still have a long season, but having a resilient attitude should help them attempt their first Big East tournament.
Just a short 2 seasons ago, the Quinnipiac men's soccer team was atop the mountain, winning the MAC title. The title included a comeback as they won the second leg of their MAC semifinal matchup to advance to the MAC championship. Despite how uncomfortably close the final was, they showed tons of resilience to still go on and take the throne. The team had 7 first-year players who are still with the team and 3 more members who are now in either their senior or graduate seasons. After a season of trouble last year with plenty of learning curves, but also positives to take away, now is the time for this team to climb back atop the MAC mountain. They have the pieces to cause serious danger in the MAC. Starting in net, you have Carl Netzel, who is a reliable, brilliant keeper. In the back line, you have the experienced Joao Pinto, Luke Schierenbeck, Terrence Wilder Jr., and Eric Lagwagon, with first-year Finn Ost learning from the upperclassmen to become a reliable backup option. In the midfield, you have the likes of Alex Miller, Noe Cabezas, Philip Kongman, Drew Seguro, and Francisco Ferreira, who all have plenty of skills and the capability to run the midfield on their own, much less with the help of 2 or 3 other midfield companions, depending on the formation. The front line and the forward group with likes of recent transfer Joey Sapulo Jr., Junior Ramesh Del Sioux, Benjamin Tella, who has 1 year at Quinnipiac under his belt, and first year William Holm, who has shown promise recently, leading to him getting many minutes already this season. Head coach Eric DaCosta is in his 20th season at Quinnipiac. It would make for an incredible story if he can lead his troops to win the MAC in an already historic season for him, with a roster he has helped grow, not only as humans, but as athletes.
On October 6th, Quinnipiac Ice Hockey returns to Hamden, and Ren Pecknold's squad will host Northeastern in an exhibition match that will be the return of and then also will mean the return of recent transfer and 2023 national champion Christophe Tellier. That date will also mark the start of a new era for Quinnipiac hockey, as 4 players remain from that 2023 national title team. Without the incredible talents of Colin Graff, Sam Lipkin, and Jacob Quillen, after they all signed pro contracts this offseason. The 5 new transfers, 9 first years, and 12 returners will be what Pecknold's 2024-25 bench will look like. There are so many questions about this team, but there is no doubting Pecknold's greatness of what will be 31 years behind the Quinnipiac bench this year. Pecknold's coaching nearly knocked off the #1 team in the country twice last season. A month out from opening night, I'm going to give a hot take here. Nobody will expect this, but Quinnipiac will return to the national championship on April 12, 2025 at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. This team will shock the hockey world. Just watch. But I also want to say, because he said that I said they were going to win the national championship, I did not say that. I said that they were going to make the game. I think they're going to at least make the game. I don't know if they're going to win. 'Cause I don't know who they're going to play.
All right. Thank you all for tuning into Bobcat Breakdown. To stay up to date on all things Quinnipiac sports, follow us at Q30 Sports on X and on our website at q30television.com. We would also like to thank all the producers and everyone working hard behind the scenes. He's Andrew Reynolds, he's Seb Lopes, and I'm Patrick Walsh saying so long and goodbye from Hamden.